Islam Makhachev, now known as one of the best lightweights on the planet, used to be in a shadow of his lightweight cousin, Khabib Nurmagomedov. For years, Islam lived in Khabib's shadow. Khabib was the undefeated champion, the fighter who obliterated every opponent in his path and retired with a perfect record of 29-0. Islam Makhachev, on the other hand, was often seen as the second coming, the guy who would eventually take over the throne, but was never really the guy. Until 2022, where he fought Charles Oliveira, a scary champion who was finishing everyone at the time. But Islam wasn't worried. This was the biggest fight of his life, and he was prepared.
You really believe you're gonna smash this guy?
Of course, I really believe. Because, brother, he lose in the UFC 7 times. He's not gonna upset if he lose one more time.
And although he was really confident, many thought that Charles Oliveira was going to be a massive test for Islam Makhachev. Islam and Khabib were praying he didn't show. Bronx is slaying Islam. Finally, the fight happened. Islam dominated on the feet where nobody expected him to do good and got a second-round submission after dropping Charles on the feet. After defeating Charles Oliveira, Islam's skills looked like nobody could stop him. He was above everybody in his weight class, until he came across a dominating featherweight who had just dominated Max Holloway and Korean Zombie and was looking to move up in weight.
Expectation that you're gonna dominate everybody, right? You are a massive favorite over Volkanovski. Like, what does that feel like to you to live up to that every time? Because at this point, you just became the champion. It's not like you defended the belt 10 times. But there is a massive amount of expectation for you to not only win, but dominate. And they're expecting you to dominate one of the greatest fighters in the world.
There's a lot of pressure to it. Nothing pressure. All guys come to my division and I just want to, show people my level. Somebody say it's gonna be hard, but everybody know that my level, because all my last five or six fights, I show good performance and I finish all my opponents. That's why I'm gonna look for the finish always. And my goal, I want to knock you out.
This time, everyone was behind Islam for this fight. Nobody thought this fight could even be close. But when it actually happened, it was a very hard fight for Islam, going to a controversial decision and getting knocked down in the last round and beat up. Many people thought Volkanovski did enough to get the win, so this would call for a future rematch.
They're all on my side now. Man, last time in Australia, brother. Everything is changed,
He needs all the advantages he can get, that's all he thinks about. I don't need none of that. I've got these, that's all I worry about.
You don't need, I need this, brother.
I rely on my skills, not crowds, not nothing.
Everybody know what you need, just money, that's it.
I'm a professional and I turn up every single time. I believe I'm one of the best fighters in the world. I believe I am the best fighter in the world. So I'm happy to do that. I can step in the training room whenever I want and expect a good performance out of myself. Yeah, a lot's on the line here, but hey, we get to put on a show for everyone around the world, everyone here in Abu Dhabi, and I can't wait.
He just come to make money. He not brings his belt. I put my win streak, I put my belt. I'm gonna be here. Before I am here, he never be champion in my division.
But one thing I will say about that, I don't know what mentality or mindset he has. I want to avenge my losses. You know what I mean? It burns me when you know what I mean? I didn't get my hand raised, that hurts me. Now I have to do it on 12 days notice. And I'm okay with that, I accept that, and I'm ready to put on a show.
Volkanovski would be taking this fight on 12 days notice after Charles Oliveira had to pull out of his rematch with Islam Makhachev due to a bad cut. This time, everyone thought Islam was going to easily win this fight due to it being on short notice, which they were correct. Islam knocked out Volkanovski in the first round via a head kick. This would put their rivalry to bed and be a big leveling up performance for Islam.
But congrats to Islam, he's a world champ.
And what's your opinion about him as a champion? Obviously being top of the division now.
Tough guy, on a streak. Looks like he's putting everything together, doing everything right. What bad can I say about him?
A little bittersweet almost, where you're like, hey, I'm not done yet. I still got a few things to do.
Yeah, like I've said before, I have tread on the tires, and I think I can beat a lot of these guys. I can compete with the young guys. I can beat anybody in the world, I feel.
Islam, I gotta ask you,
I got to ask you a question. Every upset in history has one ingredient, which is the guy that gets upset finds himself in a contest that's harder than he thought it was going to be. Now, I got to present it to you like that because when I read your tweets, I think they call it X now, you've talked about Gaethje, you talked about Oliveira, you talked about Sakarian. When it got announced that it was Dustin, that's one guy you hadn't mentioned. And I follow you pretty closely, so I'm just asking you, are you in a fight that's harder than you're aware?
Oof, now we have Dustin, you know. He honestly, some people think I'm underestimating it, but this guy is so tough, and he's a dangerous. He's a legend. He have experience, you know, and he's the most dangerous guy in this ranking in this division. And this guy have very good guillotine. That's why I'm training so hard.
No, he's lying. And he's being disrespectful. Look at his face. He's starting to laugh. Chill, he's starting to laugh. He's being disrespectful. I can tell. He's starting to laugh. You saw it, chill.
No. Brother, please. I honestly respect him, but okay, I don't respect his guillotine, but his skills I respect.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The guillotine.
Because I never see him finish someone in guillotine. Maybe one day, but it's not gonna be me.
You know, honestly, I think I am the best fighter in the world right now. That's why it's gonna be a bad day for Dustin.
At Media Day, Dustin said all he has to do is touch you and you'll go down. But he's obviously also talked about his guillotine. So what are you expecting from Dustin on Saturday?
Of course, I respect him, but when he faced with some high-level fighters who have good wrestling and grappling, he always have problem. If not me, Khabib or Oliveira, he can be champion. I feel bad for him. But when he meets some good wrestlers and grapplers, he have always same problem. He can, look, listen. Thank you guys.
Question for Dustin in the back right here. Obviously you fought for the interim title, the undisputed title, the BMF title. Now you're gonna fight someone who he's declared himself the best fighter in the world. How has this fight week been compared to his other title fights?
It's not about revenge. It's about getting ahead, beating the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, becoming the undisputed world champion. That's what this is about. It's writing this story the right way.
He declared himself the best fighter in the world. Do you believe that he is the best fighter in the world right now?
We're gonna find out Saturday, but pound-for-pound #1, current world champion, seems like it to me, but I'm gonna find out. I'll be the judge of that.
The last one for me. On Media Day, you described your style as kill or be killed in there. Do you think that Islam has that trait in him, that he can make this a kill or be killed fight?
He definitely has the finisher, right? He's out there finishing guys, submitting guys, knocking guys out. This fight isn't going to the distance. This isn't going to be a 25-minute fight. One of us is going down hard Saturday night. And it'll be my pleasure to walk out there and find out.
What does it mean to you have the fans support you in this way, considering what could happen on Saturday night, win the title or walk off into the sunset?
Man, I appreciate it so much, New Jersey. It's been a long road. If you've been a fan of mixed martial arts for a long time, you've got to see this story unfold. From Fightville, climbing my way up title shots, to here headlining another card in New Jersey. I mean, you're part of the journey with me, man. Thank you all.
For Islam, Dustin often talks about jumping for the gilly. Any part of you tempted to try and beat him with a guillotine on Saturday?
Yeah, I have to, because his guillotine always looking bad, you know, and he will make guillotine like some joke about guillotine. I have to show him how to do right.
Said yesterday, this is 25 minutes to finish the story. In your perfect world, how do you do that? Is it a knockout, a submission, or do you beat him dominantly over 5 rounds?
I knock him out Saturday night. I knock him out.
Last month he talking about finish his career, like how he want to beat me if we focus to finish his career. I feel bad about him. This is last chance. This is his like maybe last fight. This is not focus for the fight.
I'm gonna pry that belt out of your hands, bro, Saturday night.
Dustin Poirier, one of the fighters that has been a staple in the top 5 of the lightweight division for a long time, was the title defense Islam needed to tie Khabib. And he passed it going to war with Dustin through a tough, grueling 5 rounds, where he struggled to get the takedowns he made up in the striking, and in the final round, he got Dustin down and latched up a Darce choke, making him tap and becoming one of the lightweight GOATs, cementing himself not as Khabib's cousin, but as Islam Makhachev.